This is a bottle of Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Tennessee Whiskey. Now I know what you're thinking. A Tennessee whiskey doesn't qualify as a bourbon whatsoever. You're wrong. To be a bourbon, you have to be made in America. Your mash bill has to be at least 51% corn, so the juice is mostly from corn. Has to be aged in American new white oak casks that are slightly toasted. And there's a couple other things with the proof throughout the whole process, but Tennessee whiskey fits all of that in addition to its requirements. You have to be made legally in Tennessee, which there are exceptions, but throughout your process, you have to incorporate an extra step called the Lincoln County process. Now, the Lincoln County process, there's a cool story with Uncle Nearest teaching this to a young Jack Daniel, but essentially what they do is they take hard sugar maple wood, they burn it to get charcoal, and then they take the white dog from the distillation process and filter this drop by drop through about 10 feet of this charcoal. Now, this only takes away fatty lipids or other compounds from the juice. It doesn't add anything, and I've been trying to rack my head around that for years. There's a reason I'm not a chemist, but I'm a bourbon drinker. It's kind of like the joke, my favorite part about cooking is eating. That's essentially it. But that's the whole process right there. And you also see on the label here, it says single barrel. Now what this means is the juice that's in this bottle is taken from one and only one barrel. Think of something like Old No. 7, Jim Beam, some basic bourbons. What they do is they take hundreds, if not thousands of different barrels, they mix them all together, and they create a blend, even though it's technically not a blended whiskey, that has a consistent taste no matter when and where you buy Jack Daniel's or Jim Beam or whatever it is. This is different. All of the juice comes from that one barrel and is characterized by that one barrel, no matter where it is in the rick house or whatever. So that's pretty cool, and that's our history lesson for today, but we'll get straight into the taste of this. So obviously, as you can see, I can enjoy this one quite a bit. This is one of my go-to sippers or to be used in a cocktail. It's either this or regular Woodford that I'll use. I'll use this if I want something that's sweeter, more of a vanilla taste, or I'll use Woodford if I want something that's more of a fleshed out oaky taste, maybe a little bit of red fruit, stuff like that, within my cocktails or a sipper. So this one is really good right here. So as you can see, there's no cork. These guys are always full with the cork, which is a good sign. And the color is a nice butterscotch kind of caramel syrup color to it that is not much different than Frey Ranch's last week. So that's pretty good right there. So we'll start with the nose. And immediately you're greeted by that signature Jack Daniel's vanilla kind of oak, senses that you're going to get on the nose right there. Maybe a little bit of caramel, more so caramel than butterscotch on this. Maybe there's a trace of butterscotch. Your palate's going to pick up different things more boldly than mine. So just keep that in mind. But that's it on the nose here. For clocking in at 94 proof, this is kind of a souped up Old No. 7. It's not trying to be anything crazy. It's just more fleshed out expression of Old No. 7 itself. So we'll have a taste right here and we'll drink today because tomorrow we die. And immediately, once again, you're greeted by that vanilla on the front of the tongue. That oak slowly builds as it rolls through your tongue and towards the back of the throat, and you get a good burn from that going down. It's very simple with what it's trying to be, and that's not to knock it. It's a souped up Old No. 7, like I said. It's that next step in the line as you get from, the basic stuff, the single barrel, barrel proof, that whole step in the process. And it's very good for what it is. There's a reason this is one of my go-to sippers, period. But it's very much dominated by that vanilla, that oak. It's very simple with what it is. And if this is something that you're looking for your sipper, look no further whatsoever. But a little bit of caramel, a little bit of butterscotch, but it's mostly that oak and vanilla that really fleshes this whole thing out. And this is an easy 7 out of 10 for me. A great daily sipper and a great mixer whatsoever. You can't go wrong with it. It's going to be one of the workhorses of your collection. So that'll wrap it up for this episode. Cheers.